Hey guys, welcome to Haven and Hearth tutorials by yours truly, Inzainia. I'm going to, in these tutorial series, cover the basics and even on into intermediate skills and stuff that's available in this game and stuff that you should be doing. And a lot of this information is discovered. You can find it on the wiki, which you can search and bring up havenandhearthwikia.com to find the front page for this, and there is tons of information in here about the game. Another place that you can go to that I don't have open at the moment is the Haven and Hearth homepage, the forums. The forums have a lot of information in there too. Now, what is Haven and Hearth? Haven and Hearth is it's a game, but there's a lot more to it. There's got a lot of huge crafting system. It takes a lot of work for a lot of the stuff that you have to do in this game. You slowly build up a character over time, and it does, warning ahead of time, this game has permadeath. If your character dies, your character is dead. Now that doesn't mean that you'll lose everything, depending upon some of the stats and the way that you lean your your sliders, which we'll get into later. You will get some of your stuff back, some of your experience. You can always go back and get your stuff unless the person grabbed it all, if he waited around and looted your corpse. But you can go back and your homestead where you've got your stuff built and everything, unless they raid and destroy all of that also, it'll still be there, and you can inherit it with a new character. So you'll make a new character, and then you'll be able to inherit all that stuff off of a little stone rock that you can talk to. So, I mean, yes, it does have permadeath. Your guy dies, you lose a lot of stuff, but when you create another character, you inherit a lot of that stuff, so you get a bunch of it back. Not a whole bunch, but depending upon the slider. If you go more towards life, or not life and death, but tradition and change, if you go more towards tradition, you can get back as much as 75% of what you lost. If you go more towards change, which is where most people go, you'll only get back 25% of what you lost. So, and I'm not talking about money and items, I'm talking about skills and level ups and things like that. Everything in this game is advanced by a system of what's called learning points. You study things to gain learning points, then you use those learning points to buy skills, to buy boosts in other skills. You eat food to gain stats. So when you re-inherit, you'll get 25% of all of the points that you spent, the points that you had, everything that character ever did, you'll get 25% of it back. If you're towards the right side, which is the change side. If you go towards the left, which is the, I can't even remember now, I just said it a few minutes ago, the tradition side, then you can get as much as 75% of all that back if you die. But anyhow, we're going to go through all of the important parts, all of the important stuff through these tutorials. I'm going to keep them short, probably about 10, maybe 15 minutes or so at most, you know, each tutorial or each section, depending upon what they're covering. And yeah, I'll label them appropriately so you can watch the ones that you need and skip the ones that you don't, etc., etc. Alright, so first thing is, I've got a few characters as you can see here, but the first thing that you want to do is you come in and you go to New Character. In here you have three things, actually four things, but three things that matter. This is a chest. You'll open this chest. If you go over and right click on it, it'll open up into a chest, and you'll take all of this stuff. If you hit the tab key, it'll bring up your inventory box. Hit tab again, it goes away. You want to hold shift and then left click on each of these items, and that will put it into your box. If you don't hold shift and you left click on something, you pick it up. See how I've got the shirt on my mouse? That's one way to do so. Now you would then click here, which is your inventory window, and then you can left shift on all of these items to put them all in your inventory. Alright, now you are wearing them. You have, what's it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 16 slots. The top two are head related, the next two are chest related, the next two are something else, all the way down. Note that in this game you can generally almost always wear two of the same item. In other words, I can have two shirts on, I can have two pair of pants on. Now it's designed so that you could have a clothing item and an armor item. But a lot of the items are intermixed, like when you get up into the thorny pants and or the nettle pants and the nettle shirt, you could put two of them on and get bonus stats for both pieces. Remember that when you get to that point. The next thing you want to do is come over here and talk to this person, and it'll let you name your character. You'd enter your name there. I'm not going to keep this character. This is just for this, to show you this. The next thing would be to talk to this guy, and then here, notice how it turned me into a guy. If I click it again, it turns you into a girl. You can go either way, and it'll also tell you macho for men, girl power for girls. All right, the next thing, there's a possibility of there being two more things. This guy up here, if you talk to him, he asks you for a Hearth secret. This is if you know somebody and they tell you their Hearth secret. If you type in their Hearth secret right here, it will then make a stairwell appear right here that you can click on. And when you click on that stairwell, you will then appear at wherever their base is, their camp, their whatever, wherever their little, they've made their Hearth fire at. You'll appear there, and it will make a Hearth fire for you immediately there, and then you can play with your friends. The second last thing, or actually the last thing that you'll note in this is if you've died. If you've died, there will be a stone right here, and it will be standing there, and you walk up to it and you right click on it. It will ask you, do you wish to inherit whoever such and such lived and died? Would you like to inherit their stuff? If you click yes, another stair thing will appear, I believe, and you can then click on that, and it will take you to where that person's Hearth thing was, and it will only show you that if it was your character that died. Next, you would come over here. I think I might have to name it. We'll name it Weeble Wobble. Whoops. Weeble Wobble. And then you'd come over here normally if you're just starting the game, and you click on that. I just clicked a name. You would click on that ladder. I guess you have to hit enter. There you go, and your guy would come up, and you'll appear out here. There's your Hearth fire. Everything will slowly load, and this is the game. Now, the very first things that you want to do is come and look at your stuff. Right now, under the all you have is Adventure, Combat, and this, Extended. Ignore the Extended. This is all based off of a mod for the game called Ender's Client. I highly advise you get that, and that you use that, and that if you check the forums, you will find the information you need to install that. I don't plan to cover it because some people use it and some people don't. You will also notice that your trees look different than mine because I am also using a mod pack, a graphical pack that makes the trees different, makes them look prettier, in my opinion, than what the original ones do. A lot of the stuff has all been redesigned and looks a little bit different. Buckets look completely different, a lot better. A lot of the things that you build and lay down look a lot better. I cannot remember the name of that that graphics pack, but it's DAX or DARCs or DAECQs or something like that graphic pack. It's probably one of the only ones on the forum that's updated, current. So let's go over this, and then we're going to end this one because we're at about 8 minutes. This button is your inventory. This button is your equipment slots where you put stuff. Whoops. This button is your character sheet, and these 4 tabs down here take you to 4 different sections of your character sheet. This one is your kin list. Kin in this game is like buddies, friends, it's like a friends list. Just think of it like that. You got a buddy that's playing the game. If he don't want you to live with him, but you still want to be able to talk to him, you can ask him what his kin secret is, what his Hearth secret is. You can type it in here, and then you can hit add kin, and it's just like adding a friend. You can set a Hearth secret right here, and then hit set, and then tell somebody else your Hearth secret, then they can add you, vice versa, or they can then come to you if you decide that that's what you want to let them do. All right. So let's go over this window real quick. We'll cover these windows, this window, and then that'll be it. These are your base skills, or base abilities, attributes, and then these are your base skills. These skills can be increased with learning points. Right now I have 0 learning points, but when I gather stuff and learn it in this window, it goes in here. After a period of time, I will learn that, learn the learning points based on that item. I can then use them points to increase these. Now, every point that you go up, it costs 100 for the next. So for survival, to go to 2, it's going to be 200 points. Notice that it puts it here, 200. To go to 3, it'll be 300 more, so it'll be 500 points. To go to 4, it'll be 400 more, so it'll go to 900. And then to go to 5, it'll be 500 more. So, yeah, you got it, 14. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you want to get these skills up as you play. The next window is your study window. Right now, you only have 10 attention because you only have 10 intelligence. Your study window and your intelligence is completely, they correlate back and forth together. However many intelligence you have, that's how much attention. Items in this game that can be studied have a weight. The weight, this is your weight limit, basically, attention. If an item has 4 weight, you can put it in here and that will leave you with 6 attention left. If an item has 6 weight, you can then put in here, you can learn multiple things, but only the one type of a thing at a time. If that makes any sense. So, if I'm learning a curio, they're called curios, by the way, curiosities. And you can look them up on the wiki also. There's all different kinds of them to learn. So when you're learning a curiosity, you put it in here, watch your attention, and then you can just keep learning different ones. But you can learn as many different ones at one time as you want. But you can only learn one of the same time at a time. Once you've learned it, after the time that it tells you that it's going to take for it to learn goes away, you can then relearn that same one for the same amount of points. All right, and this is a curio learning window. Then you have skills. These are the abilities that you learn and use during the game. Baking, how to bake stuff. Cartography, how to make maps. Cloth making, how to make cloth. Fishing, how to fish out of rivers and out of ponds and out of the oceans. Foraging, which is one of the first ones you want to get. How to forage stuff and pick stuff up. Hearth magic, hunting, lumberjacking. There's a bunch. All right, it don't look like there's that many, but every one of these that you open up generally tends to open up more and more and more. And I've been playing for about 60 hours already on my character, and I've still got a full list of stuff to learn. Down here it shows you the ones that you already know. Oral tradition, primitive tools, and then wilderness survival. If you look up here and you click on something, it'll tell you what it's going to cost to learn it. Lumberjacking is going to cost me 150. Well, I've already said the first one you want to get, the first two that you want to get out of this game is you want to get foraging, and then you want to get hunting. And I'll explain why in the next episode when we go over hunting. But because we will go over basic hunting, that way you will understand food. But the first food that you ought to be looking for, because it ought to pop you out here like this in a forest, is if you run around, you will eventually find some apple trees. You just got to kind of run around and look. The only thing at this level you have to worry about, other than other players killing you, is boars and bears. Foxes will not attack you unless you attack them, but they will fight back. Rabbits will run from you. So the first couple things you want to do, we will cover in the next. I just wanted to cover, basically to, go over the basics. This is your mini map. Yours might look a little different. I'm using the Ender client. Please remember that. I highly advise you go figure out how to get that. It's on. I will put a link if I can remember to do so. I'm really bad about putting links down there. But just go to the forums and then look in the forums, and it'll be in there. It'll say a section for mods, and it'll be the very first one. And then you log in, you go into it. It'll send you to a link. And on that link, you'll download the first thing, which is there's a I can't click it because somebody owns that property, but that's a bush, and I can't remember a mulberry bush, and you can get mulberries off of them bushes to eat, and that'll be food for you. But you can go there. It's the very first topic, and you download the. There's 2 pieces to it. Now, there will be 3 or 4 pieces in there, but what you want to get is you want to get the Ender's client, and then you want to get the Ender's update. And then you'll just follow the instructions. The instructions in there tell you what you do, and then that's that. Okay, and in the next episode, I will load up my other character instead of this little base character, and I will show you curios. I'll show you what it looks like when you're learning stuff. I'll show you basic hunting, how to raid these nests effectively. Even though I'm higher level, I will still do it like I wasn't. That way you can go in expecting, the same results. They're very easy to do, and them nests, the ant nests, you can get really nice curios out of there. There's a boar. Now the Ender's Client also, if you go into Extended and then hit Show Animals, it'll tell you if it's on. I just turned it off. So then you go back in there and you hit Show Animals. Notice how it puts that nice little circle around the animal? Yeah, the red circle means that that will attack and kill me. Want to see what death looks like? Let's go over here and find out if I can walk. Why can't my guy walk? Alright, there we go. I don't know what happened here. I'll show you how to die, because I don't really care about this character. But I'll be able to show you what that last little bit. So this video might run just under 20 minutes. Oh man, I gotta run all the way around. I'm on simple map up here too, ain't I? No? I've got my map zoomed out pretty far is what it is, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to walk down here and get this boar to attack me, though. I'll cut through this guy's property. And you'll get to see basic fighting. I will cover fighting in this game, but it is very weird. But it's pretty cool. Melee fighting is what's weird. You will have to build up quite a bit before you actually get into melee fighting. Now I'm just going to try and get him to fight me. Sometimes they won't aggro you. There we go. He just hit me one time. Boom, 77. I have nothing but dodge. And there he goes. He knocked me out. And in the next episode, like I said, there I died. In the next episode, I will go over all of these bars and buttons and everything else. And the game just crashed. Alright, so we'll see you guys in the next episode. If you like this video and you want to see more of these, please like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, have a great day.